Hey guys, welcome back to Micho Makes. My name is Micho. I like to make stuff. Today we got part number 10 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. And this is actually a pretty big milestone. Number 10 out of 110. So we've got 100 parts from this point to get done. But without further ado, let's just take a look and see what we've got working today. All right, so we've got here the cam cover, the sprocket cam cover, lower portion of the timing belt cover. We've got some, I think this is a crankshaft pulley here. That's actually 3 parts. We've got some more pulleys here. We've got the AC, sorry, not the AC, the radiator fan and the front and back portion. It looks like this is a belt for the fan belt, and the AC belt too as well, and some screws. So, let's jump right into it and get this one unboxed. The cover portion. We've got our favorite frames here. Subscription stuff, if you want to join. Our bag of parts. Wow, that fan is huge. That's so cool. All right, diving right into the manual here. We've got some more information around the 86s and actually the Celica too as well. And as actually, from what you can see here, this is actually information around the 3-door or the hatchback versus the 2-door or the coupe version. So you can see there's actually some body style information about what makes, you know, it a hatchback or a coupe, right? So you can see this is a coupe with a trunk here, a small trunk, and then the hatchback with a larger window, and obviously the hatchback style there too as well. Obviously the initial D version is a hatchback version. You know, it's kind of funny how for this vehicle there are 2 different variations of not just the Trueno, which had the pop-up headlights, which you can see here, but also the Levin, which had the fixed headlights, but also a variation of the same thing where you had the combination of the rear trunk or the hatchback. So you could have a Levin front and a 3-door, or sorry, a coupe version, or a Levin front with the hatchback version too as well. So there are a lot of variations, and you don't see these massive body style variations too normally in cars these days. You see trim levels, but you don't see body style, like absolute body style variations too, very often. You can see the tail light versions of the differences in how the taillights were shaped completely there. I'm going to double check and make sure you guys can see this stuff and it's not out of focus. And actually what's interesting is that even with the coupe and hatchback versions, there were variations in if it was an early or Zenki or late Koki. So the early was 84 to 85, and those taillights differed. Then the Koki, which is the later 86 to 87 year, and those taillights are different. These, I believe, are the Koki versions. They're a little bit darker. I don't even know if they have variation in here of the other taillights, but they do have a difference in the taillights depending on the model that you got, which would be even a Levin or a Trueno, and also the year it was. So 84 to 85, and then 86 to 87. So there were a lot of variations. Obviously, that does happen with some Japanese cars. I know that like the Camry had that same thing where they adjusted the taillights in the late 90s Camrys. It does happen, but it seems a lot more dramatic. Information on the Celica. The TA22. And we're right into the build. As you can see, we're going to be putting the cam sprocket cover on. Bottom portion too. Got the pulleys going on. Harmonic balancer, it looks like we're building today. Making the fan. And then getting the belts on the fan. Now this is like, what's really cool, again, what I really appreciate about this entire build is that there's such an attention to detail. Like, this is how it's going to look like, and I'm really excited to see that. Let me make sure that was in focus for you guys to see. But how cool is that going to look? I think that's going to look so sick. That's going to look so sick. All right. So let's just dive right into it and get this unboxed. All right, starting out, let's just start with the center thing, and that is the fan. That would be attached to, I believe, the radiator, or actually, yeah, right in the middle. We've got the all-important, very iconic 4AGE cam shaft sprocket cover. This is actually pretty iconic in my opinion. As much as the 86 is, just the 4AGE, and this part in particular with the 4AGE on it, this is actually very, very, I feel like, very iconic of the engine. We've got the rear portion of the fan, a 3-part harmonic balancer, I believe. I believe all these parts kind of build up the harmonic balancer together, so they'll all need to be combined and put together for the harmonic balancer. This is the lower portion of the timing belt cover. And I said it once and I'll say it again. We put this timing belt on the engine just for it to get covered up. So cool. A belt, more like a rubber band, it looks like. I'm not going to stretch it. It is soft rubber, but it doesn't look like it's bendy like a rubber band. Larger one. And the screws. We've only got one set of screws this time. It's the AP screw. Okay, first piece we're installing is the iconic cam sprocket cover, the 4AG on it. Let's just take a second to admire the fact that we have cam sprockets with a timing belt here just for it to get covered up by the iconic 4AGE cover here. That they didn't need to do that part where they have a timing belt and the timing sprockets all in here. They didn't need to do that. They could have just said, you know what, it's going to get covered up anyways. We'll just leave it. No. They actually did it. That's awesome. We'll take the, what is this? the AP screws and get it locked in. Never to be seen again unless you decide to take it apart. Just those details that really makes a difference in a model, in my opinion. It's more, it's building it, a lot of models too, but it's actually the experience of building it and seeing all the components. Maybe you didn't know much about engines or you didn't know much about AE86s and how they work. You want to understand the components. This is a great way to learn. This one took a little bit of time to get in, but I got it, and that looks really cool. Awesome. The next part is the bottom cover that just kind of gets placed right there. Got a couple bolt holes right there, and on the other side, take again another AP screw. Give it a hold down and lightly thread it in. And on the other side too. And that is the timing belt cover complete. Never to be seen again. Okay, for the harmonic balancer, the DeAgostini actually has a guide on the front and back of each part right here. You got the front right there, and you've got the back over here. Same pulleys, but just like, how are they supposed to be aligned? And I've got them aligned as they have it in the guide right here. Now the first, what we do is we take this piece right here, and when we take this one here, and we literally just put them together like this. And then we take this one right here, and again, more keyways, and those get placed right in here. Okay. So, from this point, it looks like we're almost complete with our harmonic balancer right here. And I think that this is I think this is the fan pulleys for the fan. So this actually, I believe, is a complete harmonic balancer. The way it is aligned right here, I will zoom out here. Is it looks like it's just placed right on here, right on the tip. You can see it sitting there, and how these will align with the alternator and the AC pump right there. Take a screw. While making sure this part is on the outside, and then just screw it on. right. Harmonic balancer set. Next, we just take the two parts for the fan pulley, put them together just like that. And then we place this actually right here on the water pump. And we have to make sure that the alignment is make sure that there's a little notch here. That is where the fan is actually going to be keywayed. So we'll take the fan and the back part of the fan and actually put them just like that together. So you've got a front and the back of the fan. And you see that little notch right there? That might be a little hard to see. Try to focus on that. Little notch right there. That will get placed on the notch that we have here, the fan. Make sure that gets keywayed correctly. Excellent. I'll take another screw. And place it right here. Lock it down. Now we've got our fan attached to our water pump. And we've got also the pulley attached to the alternator here, pulley attached to the air conditioning pump here too as well, and also the harmonic balancer that will run all of these. Next part is that we take this larger belt and it is going to be attached to the water pump, the alternator, and the harmonic balancer. And this is actually going to be on the back side of the harmonic balancer. So there's two parts you can put that on, and this is going to be on the back one. So you have to run it over the water pump, attach it to the back part. It's on the alignment there, and we just stretch it over just like a regular belt in a car onto the alternator. I missed on the back of the fan. Unfortunately, usually if you miss like that, you can just turn one and it'll kind of fall in line, but this is just easy enough to pull it. And there we go. Okay, see if we can focus on that part right there. So cool. Got the belt attached. Now, the second belt, the smaller one that we've got here, this is also attached to the harmonic balancer. I need to rotate the fan a little bit so we can actually weave it in. It's actually on the top part, and that controls the air conditioning pump, and it goes right there. So we go around, slide it in here, harmonic balancer, get that locked in. You need to pull it a little bit, slide it right in here. Sorry to kind of get it a little adjusted on the side here. But you can see the harmonic balancer now has the belt for the air conditioning pump too as well. So now you can see the front end of the 4AG. Basically complete with the pulleys, the fan that cools the radiator, the belt that runs, serpentine belts that run, and also the belt, the timing belt, the iconic 4AG symbol on the top. Look at that. It is just coming together so well. It's so pretty, so detailed. And I want to emphasize that this is not light. This thing is metal, metal, metal. The head is metal too as well. There's a lot of metal parts on this. Look how cool that looks. And with that, actually, this part is complete. That is it. Let's take a look at what next we're going to be having. It looks like we've got some headers. And yeah, it just looks like mostly the headers, heat shield. I'm not too sure what that is right there. Those little parts right there. Make sure you can actually see those. Headers, heat shield, some other parts. Basically almost completing this side over here on the engine. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on part number 10 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini, the 1/8 scale. If you really like these videos, please consider giving me a like and a subscribe. It really does help me grow the channel, and I hope that we can get through all these 110 parts together. Again, my name is Micho Makes. Thanks very much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.